Hello, all you beautiful ladies on 40 Plus Style. It's Rosamond back again with some tips for you today. Wanted to give you some really quick makeup tips, and these are easy and simple. And if you want to check out more, I just published an article on my favorite makeup tricks and tips, so I hope you enjoy these. One of the things that I've realized is as we get older, we don't necessarily need more makeup. We actually just need to apply our makeup in a different way. It has to be subtle, because you definitely don't want to apply too much makeup because it will get in any creases or wrinkles or any of that stuff. So make sure that you don't apply too much makeup. That's the first thing I would say is as we get older, we need to do less, but we need to do it better. So I wanted to share one of my big tips is under eye concealer and concealer in general. I don't know if you can see me. There's a little bit of a glare on my glasses. Let me move over that way. Okay, so I'm going to actually take my glasses off for this part. So one of the things that I think is really important is using the right tools. Get yourself a nice little slanted brush. I don't know if you can see that. That's just a very subtle slanted brush to apply your under eye concealer. Before you put on your concealer, make sure that this area is nice and moisturized. I have a little bit of mascara on, and I put a little bit of foundation and concealer on, but no blush or anything like that, and a little bit of lip on, because I want you to be able to see this. So make sure that when you're putting on your concealer, you get yourself a nice brush. I'll tell you why, because as we get older, our vision isn't as good. And also, all of those little tiny lines and crinkles, you need a brush to really be able to get in there. I'm going to show you what I mean. So take your little brush and put your concealer on the back of your hand. I actually have two different shades of concealer. Make sure that your shade of concealer you use is not too light. I actually have a light and a medium here. I use Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics, which I absolutely love. Their entire line is a lifesaver. I write about that in the article, so check it out. But get yourself, I'm a little in between shades, so I take a little bit of the light and a little bit of the medium, and I just mix them together on the back of my hand. And then let me take my mirror and I'll show you if I can. Let me see if I can do this without my glasses on. So then what I do is just apply it a little bit with the brush, and make sure you really get in there in the corners. And I'm going to blend it a little bit, but the brush is going to really make sure that you get in there. And again, make sure you don't go too light. Also, make sure you don't apply it too much, because you don't want to call attention. If you have bags or any puffiness under there, you definitely don't want to go too light. There's one eye. You can kind of see the difference right there. It gives me a little bit more light. And as we age, we get dark right through there in the corners. So make sure that you take, that's another reason why you need this little brush. Make sure you take this little tiny brush, and you're going to get right in there in the corners. The brush is going to let you get in there, because as we get older, the shadows get darker on our face. You know, they catch the light, and that's one thing that makes you look older is the way that your face catches the light. So I don't know if you can see the difference. There is with concealer in the corner, and there is no concealer in the corner. So let me go on and put a little bit more concealer in this corner right there. So you can see it's getting in there, but take your little tiny brush and make sure you get underneath the lash line too, because that's where we get a lot of purplish color, at least I do, and that really can make your eyes look tired. This will make you look so much more awake, so make sure you get really close under the lash line right there. I'm trying to do this while I hold a mirror. So that's going to let you get really close to the lash line. And also feather it out a little bit. You don't want a really, pronounced line from where your under eye goes into your cheekbone area. So make sure you really blend it in there. And concentrate more of your under eye where you need it. For me, that's in this corner where I get really dark. So concentrate most of your application here, and then don't do as much out here. Okay, again, I'm going to get in this corner. My eyes are uneven. I think we all have eyes that are uneven, so you might need more on one eye than the other. Now, here's my other big tip. I put a little bit of foundation here on the back of my hand. You're going to use foundation on your eyelids. Yep, before you put on your eye makeup, put foundation on your eyelids. I'll tell you why, because as we get older, you get some discoloration, you get purple veins, you get red, and that's going to affect how your eye makeup goes on and how it looks, and the color of your eye makeup is going to change. So you want a neutral palette to start out with. And this doesn't have to be a big deal, but just do a little bit of foundation right on the top of your eyes. It's also going to make your eyeshadow go on better and not get stuck in the little wrinkles, if you have any wrinkles on your eyelids. I know I do. So let me do a little bit here. And again, it's very subtle, but what you're going to do is just give yourself a good canvas to work on before you put anything on. I have a lot of little veins that are purpley looking, and I have a lot of little red splotches down near my lash line. So make sure you put that on just like that. I'm going to blend it just a little bit, but that way you're not going to have to use as much eyeshadow, and you're just going to give yourself a more of an awake look. And there you go. See, it definitely does make it look better. Now, while you have your little brush, as I said, applying your makeup is you have to be more targeted when you're over 40. So another place to make sure you put concealer is here. We all get broken capillaries and redness around our nose. So make sure you take your little brush and apply it there in the corners, right there. Can you see? Ugh, you can probably see way too much redness on me. Because I'm pale, the redness really comes through. And go, make sure you get there. Now, another place that I like to put it is, again, talking about shadows. As we age, our face, the contours change and we get shadows in places we don't really want them. So I actually add a little bit right here to get rid of that little shadow there. It's just tricks. It's tricks, and what you're really doing is just changing the way the light hits your face. So put a little bit there, and then I also just put a little bit there for those little lines. I think they call those marionette lines. Great name, huh? And then I've got lots of sun damage. I have a skin condition called melasma, which is common in women, and they don't know what it's from. They think it's from sun damage when you're exposed to sun, and then hormonal changes. So I have it really badly on the side of my face, and my It Cosmetics foundation covers it really beautifully. You can read more about that in the article. I love, love, love this stuff. But then also take your little brush, and any little blemishes or any little sunspots that are especially dark, just dot a little bit of foundation on with your small brush right there. And I have one right there. It's really just learning how to apply makeup differently. Not apply more, but just differently, more targeted and more pinpointed. So there you go.